Some things are built to last. Tested by the elements, proven by time, engineered for whatever comes next. Summertown Metals. Strength in every storm. Building dreams that last.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather at noon.
Well, good Wednesday afternoon. Taylor Plott here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with a look at your latest forecast. I think we're mostly dry today. Can't completely rule out a stray shower later on this afternoon. I don't think it's overly heavy. I don't think we're dealing with any storms today. It just end up being a passing shower or two. We are watching, though, for Friday. That's going to be our next best chance for rain and storms, and some of those could be severe. I'll have more on that coming up a little bit later on. First off, let's take a live look from our Arctic Air Skycam network on this Wednesday at noon. Lunchtime across the area. Things are looking absolutely fantastic. Everybody's kind of bouncing between, I would say, mostly sunny conditions to kind of partly cloudy conditions. There will continue to be passing clouds throughout the majority of the day today. And like I said, there could be a passing shower, but rain chances are really on the low side of things today. But I think most places just end up looking like this today. Looking at your radar satellite composite showing you exactly where some of the shower activity is right now. Again, some of this could creep on in later on today, but I think for the most part, we're just dealing with those passing clouds. Our rain chances really won't bump back up until, like I mentioned, we get into that Friday situation. Current temperatures across the board getting very warm out there. Already 79 degrees in Florence, 75 here in Lawrenceburg, 78 in Waynesboro, 80 degrees up there in Parsons. Also 80 in Decatur, already 82 degrees in the Huntsville area this afternoon. Hour by hour forecast will show you exactly what we expect kind of on average temperature wise today. I think when you kind of average everything out, everybody generally gets up into the lower 80s. And then once we get into the evening hours, we still should stay in the 70s. It's going to end up being a very pleasantly warm evening out there, so you don't need that jacket on hand tonight. Temperatures with the weather where you live forecast today, again, I think everybody generally gets up into the low and mid 80s, 84 in Florence, 83 in Athens today. Again, there might end up being a passing shower or two. I think the best chance of that's going to end up being across northern Alabama. Your hometown forecast a little closer to home look here, 83 degrees for your high in Columbia, 82 in Chapel Hill, 82 degrees in Pulaski, 82 in Loretto, and 83 degrees over there in Waynesboro. Bounce down across the border into northern Alabama, 83 degrees in Athens, 84 in Decatur today, 83 in Cortland, and 83 degrees over there in Muscle Shoals. Let's take a look at your Futurecast, and it will show you kind of where that shower potential is today. Again, there's a chance that a few passing showers could move across northern Alabama today, but as you see this, there's nothing overly heavy, maybe a brief moderate downpour. You see those little yellow spots here. That would end up indicate some moderate rainfall. That's about it. I don't expect any thunderstorm activity today. I don't expect anything strong or severe. Just a passing shower is definitely possible with everybody, again, staying generally in that 80-degree range. This evening, just a few passing clouds. I think we're dry at that point. We'll probably end up seeing some breaks in the clouds later on this evening, overnight hours, and then once we get into your Thursday, more clouds will start to move on in. As I move forward here, I will say there is some shower potential that the models have shown for your Thursday. I say models, really it's only this model that I've been looking at that's kind of really showing a chance at a few passing showers for your Thursday. I don't think it's going to be overly widespread. I think if there's anything, it's just a very isolated spotty shower for your Thursday. So as you see here, I think most places end up staying dry. Can't completely rule out a stray shower, but that's really only about a 10% chance. Everybody generally gets up into the middle and upper 80s, maybe even close to 90 degrees for your Thursday. Here are those rain chances. They will go back up, like I mentioned, going up into your Friday. That 40%, I think most of that actually ends up becoming in the evening hours as opposed to during the day on Friday. And even some of the models are hinting that that might not happen. So your Friday during the entirety of the day and evening might end up being dry. It's just something we're going to be keeping a close eye on. What will happen, though, is once we get into the late evening and overnight hours going into your into your Saturday morning, that's when we'll start to see our rain and storms really move back on through. Some of them could be severe. That 60% on Saturday is primarily during the morning hours with the remnants of that rain and storm activity moving on through. I think the bulk of your day on Saturday is going to end up being dry, which is nice to see. And then we're kind of back to hit or miss rain chances as we get into the latter part of the weekend and into early next week. All right, let's talk about that severe weather potential. Right now, the Storm Prediction Center has a level 1 out of 5 here for all of northwestern Alabama. It includes Huntsville up to Fayetteville, up to Shelbyville, back down to Lewisburg, Pulaski, and the Shoals. Northwest of that for places like Selmer, Savannah, Waynesboro, Columbia, Homewald, and points off towards the northwest, you're in that level 2 out of 5, that slight risk. Our primary focus is going to end up being, like I mentioned, that overnight activity. It should have a line of storms that track on through. Some of them could contain some damaging winds. Can't completely rule out some large hail, and we're watching that chance for a low-end tornado threat at the least. Everything's still kind of uncertain from an exact standpoint, but all forms of severe weather look to be on the table potentially with this line of storms. The other thing we'll have to keep an eye on is if other storms start to get going during the evening hours, like I'll show you here. This is the European model Futurecast. During the morning hours, we will watch the potential for a few showers and storms to develop. Right now, it looks like the bulk of that activity is off to our north. But as you see here, these are the potential 2 waves if there were to be 2 waves. You have this initial batch of showers and storms that develop during the evening hours on your Friday. Back here, this is going to end up being that overnight storm risk as it looks right now. Again, this is just potential, but if we were to have 2 waves of storms, we will have to watch that evening potential and then that overnight potential as well. I will say some of the high-resolution model guidance, I'm not showing it here yet because it's kind of on the far-out range of things, but I will say looking behind the scenes, everything seems to be pretty dry until that overnight period. So again, this is if we end up getting 2 rounds of storms, there will be late evening and overnight hour potential. As we go through your overnight hours into early Saturday morning, most of that will end up being off to our south during the mid-morning hours on your Saturday, and then we are drying out here most likely going into the afternoon hours for your Saturday. So if you have any of those Saturday outdoor plans, don't cancel them yet. Right now, I think things are dry for your Saturday afternoon, but just keep checking back for the latest because some of that could end up changing. Here's your 7-day forecast. Again, watching that severe weather potential. Keep checking back with us here at the Tennessee Valley Weather Center for the latest information on that. Once we get into next week, though, all of that, like I said, on those that rain chance graphic, it's pretty much hit or miss. That 20 kind of 30% chance of rain Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday going into next week. So not a complete washout by any means, but there could be showers and storms at any given moment during the day as we head into the early part of next week. Temperatures really not budging much, still staying in the middle 80s. That's your latest forecast here from the Tennessee Valley Weather Center. Fred Gossage will be in at 5 p.m. to get another update on your forecast and that severe weather potential, so please tune in for the latest on that. Until then, I hope everybody has a fantastic Wednesday afternoon.
You're watching the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel.